Hello, this is Pat Walker at MissionWinners.com, doing a training coaching video for everybody. My background, I taught on the university level years ago, decades ago. Boy, I feel old all of a sudden. Anyway, I love to teach. I love to help people. I want to teach methods, techniques, tactics, not tricks, okay, that help us stay focused on where to go and where not to go when it comes up looking for stocks and opportunities. So here we go. Here's the cues. Just taking a look at it. This is the NASDAQ 100. It's technology. It's walking up the 20-day. It's fine. We've been in QLD for a while, but it's fine. Just let it work. Here we go. QLD grinding on up. Do we need to overthink this? No. Is this a negative bar? Yes, but it's still walking up the moving averages. We sold some in the strength. Let it work. Don't overthink it. Spiders grinding on up. Do you need to think about it too much? No. SSO grinding on up. We're in this. Down lower. It's just, by the way, it's nothing fancy. It's not like, whoa, what did you see here? I want to share something with you. I want you to look at my charts. What do you see on here and what don't you see on here? You don't see oscillators. You don't see MACD. You don't see any way, shape, or form of anything that is a fancy derivative of price and volume. Price and volume. Why? When you start using, at least for me, when I start using oscillators, bias enters into the situation. Oh, it's overbought. Folks, if I put stochastics on here, I bet that sucker was overbought up here. Well, then you miss this. Oh, I got to sell, it's overbought. There's a bearish divergence. The trend, ride trends. When you realize, I will share something with you. When you accept the fact, when we accept the fact we don't know the future, we can study the present clearly and act accordingly and ride it till it stops. When will this stop? I don't know. I don't know the future. Price and volume. Is this a slightly negative bar? Yes. You can say, Patrick, why do you say that? It fell, it gapped down, it closed down, and it did it on a slight pickup in volume. Is that reason enough to sell all of it? The trend is up. If every little hiccup you panic out of all of them, you're never going to make a big trend money. Ride them. IWM's going sideways. You see that white line I drew there? Show you something here. Small caps. Look at this. This is the weekly. You've got a cup and a handle formation here. Or triple bottoms. Look at this. What if this takes this out right here with volume? Could be good. Am I saying it's going to? Did you notice I said, quote, what if? If it does, we'll be ready. There's my price alert right there. We'll watch it and see. Again, I'm not saying it will, but we'll be ready. TNA, leveraged. I like the leverage too. Here's Apple, in down here, right there. Lifted right through there on a pickup in volume. Goes up the next day. Just walking up the moving averages. Just let it work. We sold some into strength. Let it work. Let it work. Amazon, it's just flopping around here. It's below the 200-day. What's the one plus with Amazon? Actually, there's two pluses, folks. And I'm going to refresh this chart because I see a bad data point on it. Right there. That's cleaned up. It's below the 200-day. It is a MAXLIST stock. Love these stocks. We're coming into a seasonally strong period in the markets. What do you see? It's very simple. We don't have to overthink it. You have a higher low here versus here. You have a higher low here versus here. And you have a higher low here versus here. Higher lows. Got lower highs too. What will it take for us to resolve this? It needs to lift off, take out highs on volume. If it does, we'll be ready. It's a MAXLIST stock. Alibaba, look at this base. It's like, oh, that's nice. This is why we look at weeklies. Check that out. You got a cup and a handle for me. Look at the volume on that weekly bar right there. That's sweet. That ain't mom and dad buying. That's Uncle Ernie buying. Uncle Ernie has money. Look at that. Isn't that nice? So what's it tell us? Go back to the daily and you say, well, you know what? You got kind of a cup and a handle. If this starts to take this out on volume, maybe there's something to do with it. And it's a MAXLIST stock. Baidu, a little bit looser. Bit of a bounce right here. Runs up on good volume. Pulls back on less volume. Starting to lift up again. Facebook, going sideways. Look at this if it takes that out right there. Look at that volume on that bar. It's a MAXLIST stock. Could it go? Well, sure it could. Am I saying it's going to? I don't know the future, but I've seen this pattern a million times in my career. All right, not a million times, maybe 500,000. Okay, sorry. But could it take this out? Well, sure. What do we look for if it does? Two things, price and volume. People talk with their mouths and vote with their pocketbooks. I want to see them voting. How can I tell if they're voting? Good price action with volume backing it up. Goldman Sachs just going sideways. You say, okay, that's not too bad. Look at the weekly. Ran up here. Longer tops going across here. From here all the way to there. Maybe it'll lift off. Look at the weekly volume. It picked up. Am I saying it's going to? No, but I'm saying the pattern's picked up a little bit and we'll be ready. Google. Been in Google down here. Walks up. We sell some into strength. Hovering right here on the 20-day. Notice my price alerts. A lower alert and an up alert. It starts to go here in a good market, bouncing off the 20-day. Guess what? Buy more. There you go. Netflix, just kind of grinding up. There's, it had a lift right here. That's okay. Below the 200-day, kind of tough right there. NVIDIA, going sideways. This is a very interesting lesson. This stock, the numbers weren't good, okay? Negative. But look at what the stock's doing. It's refusing to fall. That's a plus. This was a negative bar. We'll watch it and see what happens. Square's picking up. Right here was a good volume picking up, approaching the 200-day, the falling 200-day, needs to push through there. Now, let's go to the weekly and see how that looks. Here's the weekly. That's a negative weekly bar. So we'll have to watch this and see what happens. We made really good money on this a couple of years ago. Just to show you, just right there. Kind of simple. That just, that's kind of vanilla in my book. Here's another spot we had it right here. Look at that base. It's just simple. It's nothing fancy. All right? People talk with their mouths and vote with it. Look at the volume. They voted. Simple. Tesla. Here's Tesla. Gap down on news. We owned this right here. What did we do? We knew there was a big news event. We sold almost all of it beforehand, kept a very small amount, sold it into strength. Why? We don't carry big positions into big news events. Why risk it? It's not worth it. It protected us, locked in profits. Twitter. Well, we could sure tweet a lot, but I'll tell you so far, it ain't doing too much for this, is it? By the way, right here, that ain't mom and dad selling. That's Uncle Ernie selling. That's serious. Just going sideways right here. However, what do you see? You see that shelf right there? So then you go to the weekly. You can say, oh, okay, it fell in volume. Needs to pick up. But I will tell you this. There's a lot of damage done. I'm saying it's not going to work, but there may be easier ways to make money. Just for what it's worth. But maybe it'll go sideways and lift through here on heavy volume. Why do I say that? Because it's a MAXLIST stock. That's why. It's a MAXLIST stock. Visa started to lift up. They take it right back. We'll have to watch it and see what happens. Here's the weekly. We're almost done. See that weekly volume? Let's refresh this to make sure it's right. Yeah, slight volume pickup right there. Finally, we'll round it out with MasterCard. Visa, MasterCard, very similar. Folks, that's the MAXLIST, the big ETFs, the major industry ETFs, and the MAXLIST. What does this do? It just helps you frame up the big picture. These stocks right here, these are the names. These are the mambo ones, and we need to know about them. Anyway, I hope this helps you, and I thank you. I hope you're all having a great weekend. All right? And by the way, if I don't catch up with any of you, I wish you and your families a happy Thanksgiving. We've got much to be thankful for, and our thanks goes far beyond the markets. Far beyond. Anyway, I thank you very much.